Okay, so the index concept is the same for list. And why do we need a list? These are some examples. Shopping list, to-do list, roster for an athletic team, roster for this class. They are all list examples. Okay, that's when you use a list. So here is an example, an actual Python list example. Okay, so if you look at this one, so a list is signified by this square brackets. So once you see a square brackets, you know it's a list. Okay, this is a list of strings. I cannot find my pen here. Okay, this is a list of strings. So you have 3 items. Because it's a list of strings, you see that you have the single quote or double quotes, right? So this is a list of 3 strings. And this is at position 0, position 1, position 2. Always remember that. For this one, this list literal has 6 ints, right? 6 integers. This is at index 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how you understand it. And this is a list of lists, okay? It's a more complicated one, right? So each element is a list. So the first element for this outer list is a list of 2 elements. The second element is a list of 2 elements, 2 integers. So this is a list of lists. Okay, this list is 2 elements of integer lists, and each element is a list. So this is a more complicated one, but that's how it's signified. That's how it's denoted. Okay, any questions about this, everybody? Okay, when an element is an expression, its value is included in the list. So for example, if you use this math function, remember math dot square root, right? X, that's the parameter. This will evaluate to a number, to a value. So because we are using math, we import the math module, and we initialize x to 2. So we put x here, that's the first element, and this is the second element. And the second element is actually evaluated. If you use this element, it's evaluated to this value. Okay, so that is saying that, so you can actually have a list like this. You can say the first element is 2 plus 5. The second element is 2 times 5. That's fine, right? The third element is 3. So this would be a list of 3 elements, 0, 1, 2. 3 elements, okay. And just like this one, this is a list of how many elements, everybody?
1.
1. This is a list of 1 element, and which is actually evaluated to 3, right? Right here. Okay, any questions about this, everybody? And please see that I have detailed explanation there, and hopefully that helps you when you go back and study on your own. Okay. So 2 functions can be used to create a list. Okay, one is range, one is list. This is when we talk about list, we use it as a noun, but actually it's also a function name. Okay, it also is a behavior. That means you create a list. So let's see how we do that. Okay. Remember that the range function returns a list. And when we first discussed this, if you remember, we have 4, right? I, in, range. This is the for loop, you remember, 10. This actually will create a list of, okay, 0, 1, 2, 9. If you remember, we discussed this when we discussed the for loop. So this actually returns this list. So the range function actually returns a list. Therefore, lists of integers only, not strings. Okay, a list of integers can be built using the range function. And let's look at this. Okay. So here, first, this is a list, right? That's how you denote a list. Okay, and now we are creating a list and assign it to second. So range from 1 to 5, okay, we are creating a list and using this list function to make it into an actual list, right? It will give you a sequence of values, and this will give you the list. So now second, we'll have a list like this. Remember, the second argument is not included, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's how you can create a list. Okay, using combining list and range. Okay. Okay. Someone sent me a message. So any questions, everybody? This is how you can create a list. And you can also create a list with a is that for this one, you do not use a range because this is for integer only, right? List of integers can be built using range. And this is a string. A string is a sequence of characters. So you just use the list function and say, I want that to be a list. So now it's a list. Of course, you are assigning it to third, right? So when you say third, here is a list, okay? And when you say second, that's a list. That's how you create a list, okay, everybody? Let's do some examples. You know, if you say first is equal to 3, 2, right? That's a list. Okay, that's how you create that list. And you can also do using the list, if you have a lot of elements in this list and they are all consecutive, then you can use the function list and range, combine them, say from 10 to 20. Then you should say 21, right? Because the second argument is not included. So now if we do first, we will see it's changed. It's from 10 to 20, right? That's how you create a list. Any questions, everybody? Okay. And hello, right? Let's do a string. And if you say string list is equal to list hello, and now it is a list, right? It becomes a list. Okay, and also remember you can use the split function to create a list actually. You know, if you say string list equals to, let's remember, okay, let's do hello. Again, dot split, you remember this function. Oh, this cannot split because it's one word. There is no a space in between, so you can actually not split that. For this kind of list, you have to use the list function to build it, everybody, right? You cannot split it because it's just one thing. You know, for example, let's just do it and you will see. You cannot split it because remember the default splitter separator is a space and there is no space here, so. Okay, it's just one element, right? It's not splitting it into these multiple characters. So if you want the different characters, you have to use the list function to do that. Any questions, everybody? Okay. Let's look at this one. List literals and basic operators. Okay. So these all work. Len. What is len, everybody? What is len? Oh,
Length.
Defines the length of.
it gives you the length. Yes, it gives you the length of a list or a string. And this is called the subscript operator, if you remember, right? Okay, and this is called the concatenation operator when it's used with a string, concatenation. And this is the equality operator. This is different from this. This, oh, I know. Yeah, suddenly it just came to me. Yang told me that he would not be here because of COVID shot. Yes, okay, now I remember. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the assignment operator. It changes the variable on the left. This is equality. It doesn't change anything. It just tests if two elements are the same, okay, are equal. So that's the difference. Always remember that. This is for Boolean expression. This is for assignment statement. Okay, so you can do the same thing. Len first, right? It gives you a 4. And first 0, it gives you the first element, right? I'm telling you, this is the list. So when you say len first, it gives you 4. When you say len first sub 0, it gives you the first element, the 0th positioned element. Okay, when you use the first 2 to 4 and 2 to 4, remember the second argument is excluded. So it gives you 2 and 3, right? Subscript 2, oh, this is 2 and this is 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. So it gives you those two elements. Always remember the second argument is excluded. Okay, so here, if we say len star list, okay, string list, not star list, string list, it will give you 5, right? Because we have 5 elements here, HELLO. Okay, if I say len first, okay, it will give me this, right? Because I changed first from this list, everybody, I changed it from that list to this one, right? Here is the assignment operator, and it changes the value on the left, or the value of the variable on the left. So now your first, instead of having 4 elements, now it is this one. So it has 11 elements. That's why I was saying that this is the assignment operator. It changes the value of the variable on the left. Okay, so if I say first, this is, remember, that's the subscript operator 6, right? It gives you 16. That's 10 is 0, 11 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Okay, if you say first -1, that would be the last one. And this is the same as the string. Remember when we discussed the string, it's the, so the expressions are the same. Okay, I can also do first 5 to 7 to 9. Let's see, is it out of range? Oh, no. Okay, so 5 to 9. This gives you the elements from index 5 to 8 inclusive, right? So 0, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 9 is not included. Okay, any questions, everybody? No questions, okay. So that's how you use a list. Okay, go back. Concatenation, this is called concatenation, right? Concatenate means combine 2 of them, 2 of the same kind, and put them together. And equality also work as expected for lists, okay? once again, we learned this with string. So now let's see. First, that's a list plus another list. This is a list, right? So now your first becomes the original first plus this list. And the first is equal to second. This is testing if they are the same, and it gives you true. Remember, second from the previous slide has this. So that's how this works, right? Okay, so we can do first. I'm changing first now. I'm not just doing an expression. I'm changing it. First plus, you have to add a list, right? And now let's see what it is. You can see that these three elements are added to first because this is a list. You are concatenating two lists together, okay? So now the length of first is different. It's 14, right? We added 3 to it. And let's do, if I do second, it's equal to first. Let me ask you, which one am I changing in this instruction statement? Which one is being changed?
Second.
Second, right, everybody? It's always the variable on the left. Okay, that is being changed. So after this one, second has the same content as first, right? So they are the same because you are saying assign the list of first to second. Now, if you do second, it has the same content as first. So when you do first, when you test first equal to second, it's true. When you test first is not equal to second, it should be false, right? You're saying first is not equal to second. That's not true. That's false. First is equal to second. That's true. Any questions, everybody? I think my voice is a little lower. Now I put it at 50%. Okay, everybody, any questions? You all understand this, okay? Okay, so let's go to the next one. List literals, okay, the last slide for this, list literals and basic operators. To print the contents of list, we simply print. I'm showing you the difference, okay? Here, we are printing a string, right? This is a string, it's not a list. So when you print it out, it's like this. This is a list. Remember, when you have the square brackets, it's a list. So now it's when you print it, it's like this. That's the difference, okay? Print a string, print a list. A string and a list, they are different. This is a string. They are alphabetical, digital, they are digital numerical characters. Okay, they are characters. Here, these are integers of a list of integers. That's the difference. Okay, do you still remember the in operator, right? Let's use the in operator, okay? The in operator detects the presence of an element. So this is an expression, everybody. It doesn't do anything. It's an expression. And it will give you the evaluated value of true because you are saying is 3 in the list of 1, 2, 3, and it is true. So it returns true. 0 in 1, 2, 3, it returns false. Okay, so that is pretty easy to use, right? If I say 3 in second, it's true, right? 100 in second, it's false. I can do if 3 in first is the same as second, print 3 is in the list, right? I can do that. And I can say else print 3 is not in the list. Okay, we can run this. 3 is in the list, right? Now let's run the 100. Okay, oh, I should have changed this, right? I didn't change. So it says 100 is not in the list. Okay, let me just redo it instead of confusing you. So this should be 100. Right? 100 is not in the list. Okay, that's how you test it. Or you can say X is equal to 45. Okay, if X in second, then you print in, right? Else print not in. Okay, let's see. Is 45 in that list? It's not, so it should print not in, right? You can do that. So this can be a variable. It can be a value. Okay. Once again, this here is just an expression. It doesn't do anything. It gives you something when you use this interactive shell. But if you are doing a file, you actually have to meaningfully, if you want it to be meaningful, you have to use the if statement so that you can get some result. Okay. Okay, any questions, everybody? Okay, let's do this exercise, okay? Let's do this exercise. We will do the first, yeah, let's do this one. Assume that variable data refers to the list 537. Write the values of the following expressions. Let's just talk about it. Or you can chat, you can put it in the chat. Yeah, let's do the first one, everybody. Okay, everybody, yes, very good, very good. 7, 7, 7. I have 4 sevens. So everybody, that's 7, right? All of you are saying that's good. Okay, number 2, data minus 1. Okay, it's also 7. Very, very good. I'm looking at your answers. Great, everybody. That's very good. Okay, number 3, len data. Very good. All of you are answering. I'm very happy about that. Okay, very good. 3, right? Number 4, data 0 to 2. Okay, everybody. Okay, we have, okay, the correct answer is these several. If you can look at the last 3, and some people from the beginning also said that, okay. Remember, always remember, when it's a range, the second argument is not included. So 2, index 2, the element at index 2 is not included. So it's 0, 1, which is 5, 3, right? 7 is not included. Okay, very good. Yes, 5, 3. Yes, it ends before the index of the second argument. And the same is true for strings. For the functions we discussed last time, find, what else? You know, so it usually is the second index is not included. Okay. Except for rand int, when you generate a random number, both are included. Okay, that is number 4. I don't understand. Oh, you're talking about 5, 0 in data. I see. I didn't know. You're talking about 5, right? 0 in data. False, false. 0 is not in this list, right? Yes, good, good. Okay, number 6. Data plus 2, 10, 5. Give me the list. This expression. Yes, okay. Very good, very, very, very good. Yes, that's correct. So you are combining, concatenating 2 lists into 1. Yes, so it's 537 and then 2, 10, 5. Yes, very good, everybody. How about we just continue, right? Instead of having you one student share, all of you are sharing, and just know everybody, even if you answered incorrectly, it's okay. You participated, you are learning, right? You put your ideas in writing, that's good. Okay, create a list named my list and populate it with the values of these. So let's do that. Okay, we have one answer there. We have another answer, another answer, another answer. Yes, yes, everybody. Very, very good. Very good. Yes, that's how you create. Good. Okay. Great work, everyone. Okay, that's number 7, right? Yes, very good, very good. I'm so glad to see everybody is participating. I like this format, actually. I think it's better than asking you to share. You just put it in the chat. Yeah, very good. Okay. Now let's do number 8. Print out the last 2 elements. Okay, the last, okay, read the instruction, everybody. Print out the last 2 elements. So if you look at your answer, everybody, I see one answer. You have different answers, right? One answer is this is Marilyn's, that's 2 to 4. And other students answered my list -2, my list -2. Do you think that works? Okay, here is another one. We have my list 2 to 4. Yeah, Omcar's is okay, and Eugenio's, that's that. And Omcar's is len -2. Okay, now for this one, let's look at this one, everybody. I'm going to stop here. And this is a great learning experience, right? If you look at this, you cannot use len by itself. And I think, Omkar, your logic is correct. Okay, your logic is very good. However, len is a function. You cannot do len -2. You have to do len my list -2 to len my list. Let's do that. Let's do that. That's a great answer, but the logic is correct, but the syntax is not correct. Okay, so what you do is print. I'm using first. Let's use first as an example. Okay, so you will do len first, right? -2, that will give you the second from the last character. Yeah, Macrine's answer is also, that's another way. Okay, to len first. Okay, so if you do this, oh, okay, so I think -2, right? Okay, let's see how we make this work. Maybe we need another pair so that it knows, right? Okay. Huh. Uh, oh, I see. I forgot to put. So this is a little bit more complicated. I forgot to put what? The print, what it first, right? So Omkar, you're making me doing all this work. This is a little bit more complicated. So this will give you the correct answer. Okay, if you look at this. So remember, this is a list. You have to use the syntax subscript. Okay. I know this might not be what you need to do, but this is good to understand, right? Those two are the square brackets. That's the subscript. And what's the subscript? Len first, that gives you the length of first, minus 2, that gives you the character from the last, the second character from the end. And that's the range operator, right? 2. And then to the end, which is len first. Remember, the end is, this will give you the length, but the last character is the at length minus 1. So it's correct, right? It's not included. That is the syntax, right? That's the correct syntax. 4, 5, if you look at it, yes, those are the two, right? That's how you express that. And to really know this is great, because when you go to other languages, Java, C++, this is actually how you express it. It's more cumbersome, but that's, and another way to print it is this. This is correct. And what you did previously, everybody, is correct. Okay, but you cannot do this. This will not be correct because it gives you only one character. Oops, what did I do wrong? Oh, my list doesn't exist, right? Mine is first. Okay, first minus 2. Okay, so this will only give you one character, right? However, if you do this, this would be correct. Without specifying an argument, it will be the end, to the very end, right? So that will give you that. Okay, very good, everybody. I like your work very much. Thank you. Very good. Okay, now let's do the next one. Add values 23, 45, 32 to the list. We are still talking about this data, everybody. Okay. Yes. Yes, very good. That's correct. Correct, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to look at these differences. Everybody, let's discuss the difference. Okay, so if you look at the difference between, let's say this one, can you see my highlighting, everybody?
No, Professor.
Can you see me highlighting this?
No.
Oh, can you see my screen with the chat?
No, Professor.
Really? So that's the difference. I can see the chat. You cannot see it. You don't see it on my screen. Okay. Okay. So I'm asking you, what's the difference between this one? Let's see. I'm going to put it here. Okay, so that you can see this one and this one. I'm going to ask you the difference between this one and this one. What's the difference?
So
you can
one
see
of them,
this one. I'm sorry, go ahead.
one of them is actually changing my list, like it's actually changing what it is, versus the other one is just like you know,
An expression.
yeah.
Yes, it's an expression. It doesn't change anything. So remember, that's very important to remember, everybody, because, you know, when you program, you need to know that difference, right? One is actually changing because of the assignment operator, everybody, right? That's the assignment operator. And this one, it's just an expression. it doesn't change anything. It's just an expression. It's not the law. It's just you are expressing that, and it with the interactive value, with the interactive shell, it gives you the result. It just tells you, okay, that expression evaluates to this result. So, okay, very good. Print out the number of elements in the list. How do you do that? Print out the number of elements in the list. Okay. We have one answer. I can see one answer. Yes. Okay. Very good. And very good. The thing is, everybody, you need to actually type it, right? Once you type it, you remember it. And this is a learning style or a learning strategy. That means you actually really need to write. Otherwise, you just look at it and you forget, right? So write it out. Very good. Yes, that's how you print out the list. That's good, everybody. Okay, let's do the last one. I will ask you to do this with actual IDLE, not in the chat. It's difficult to type. So I will let you do that, and then we will share. We will still share. Okay, I'm going to pause my recording. Yes. Okay. Okay. Very good. Let's run it again. Not in the list. Let's do one that is in the list. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. Very good, Omkar. Great work. Good, good. Okay, let's look at Justin's. Okay, so my list. Yes, user input. Okay, so does this work, Justin? It works? Okay.
Sorry, my computer's like freaking out right now.
Okay, let's enter a value that is in it.
Sorry, I can't see my screen. I might
Really?
actually, yeah, I might actually have to restart my computer again.
Okay, okay.
Sorry about that.
No, that's always have a header and always have the documentation there. That's very important. Very good, Marilyn. Great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody. Replacing an element in the list. Okay. A list is mutable. What does that mean? I already give you the answer here, meaning it can be changed, right? It can be changed. So elements can be inserted, removed, or replaced. Okay. The list itself maintains its identity, but its state, its length, and its contents can change. That means the list is still there, but its contents changes, right? Its state means its current state. Think about the president always does State of the Union, right? That the current situation of the country. That's why we call it State of the Union. And here, when we talk about state, we are saying the current state, the current situation, right? Okay, so what the current situation for a list, it's simply its length and its list elements. Okay, that means a list is mutable, it can be changed. So subscript operator is used to replace an element. Okay, example. This is a list, original list. And if you print it out, that's the list. Now we are changing, right? Remember, this is the element you are going to change. It's on the left-hand side. This is the assignment operator. This is the value you want to change it to, right? So now when you print it out, 0, 1, 2, 3, the third element or the fourth element at index 3 is changed. So it's pretty easy to change, right? Subscript is used to reference the target of the assignment, which is not the list, but an element's position within it. Okay, so you are referencing an individual element here, right? So that's how you change things. It's just the subscript. You just need to remember how to reference it. I can do first subscript 5, that means the fifth element. I'm going to change that to be the first element. So I can do this, right? Now, if you print it out, you will see the first element is the same as the fifth element because I'm changing the fifth element to be the first element. So now they are the same. If you look at originally, the first element is 10, the fifth element is 15, right? So now it's changed. You can do this changing. So whatever you do, right, you can do equal to first sub-0 plus 100. This is an expression. So the system will get the value of this value, this one, which is 10, right? And add 100 to it. And then that's 110 and assign that value to this first element. So you are changing the 0th positioned element. Okay, now let's look at it. That's 110, right? And you can do any element. 1 is equal to, I can do this. I'm showing you this so that you can see what you can do with each element. It's just an expression, remember, right? And you can do first 2. You can do this. And now if you look at it, that's first 0, that's 110. And then 11 and then 12, that's 23. That's 133, right? Let's see. Oh, yes, 133. It's right here, right? Okay, so any questions about this, everybody? You can use the subscript to manipulate the array of or each element, okay? Or you can do, this would be the last element, right? Equals to 98. And then you can see the last element now is 98, right? Okay, that's how you can do that. Any questions? Using this subscript operator to manipulate the element. Okay. Now let's look at replacing an element in the list. Let's look at this, okay? This is a list, and we did several exercises here, so this comes at no surprise, right? Okay, that's a list, numbers, and if you print it out, it's this. So here we are using a for loop for index in range, okay? Len numbers. What does this give you, everybody? What does this give you?
The
Are
element.
you writing in the chat? What does that give you? Somehow I cannot see the chat. So if you're writing there, I don't see it. It doesn't open for me. I don't know why. Oh, here it opens. Okay, so 4. Yes, that's correct. Okay, that one gives you 4. Yes, 4. Okay, so because there are 4 elements here, right? So the length is 4. So len numbers gives you 4. That's good. Okay, so index starts at what, everybody? What does it start with?
0.
0, yes, 0, right? Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Remember, 4 is not included. Okay, so numbers index, which starts at 0, then the second time is 1, the next time is 2, the next time is 3, right? It changes. And this one, the first time is 0, then 1, then 2, then 3. It changes also. So numbers index, the first time it's this position, equals to numbers index, which is 2. That's the value. This expression gives you that value, raised to the power of 2. That gives you a 4, right? When you print it out, you can see that gives you a 4. Okay. And then the second time, this index becomes 1. So that you're talking about this position. And this will give you 3, the element, right? The element value raised to the power of 2, that gives you a 9. So when you print it out, it gives you 9. And then the second, when this becomes 2, index 2, we are talking about this position. And in numbers index 2 gives you 4. 4 raised to the power of 2 gives you 16. When you print it out, the list, you can see it's 16. The next time when this index is 3, this gives you 5, right? 5 raised to the power of 2, that gives you 25. Okay, so you are changing the whole list. Unlike what we did here, I'm changing just one element here, right? I'm changing one element. And here we are changing the whole list using a for loop.
Did she cut off everyone else?
Okay, do you understand this, everybody? Do you understand this code? Yes?
Yes. Although how would it make?
Yes? Right? Okay, so that's how you do this. Just now I was experimenting with this. I was thinking out loud, right? You heard me talking through myself. Can you do that? You can print it because this references each the index. So it's going through the list with that index. However, you cannot use that to change. Okay, you cannot do this. This will not work. Because now you are changing to. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, huh. This works too, everybody. Did you know that? I didn't. I was thinking this should reference only the index and this would be out of range. So, well, this works too. I should have tried that first, right? This is referencing each element. But just remember this syntax, I was hesitant about this. The reason is I teach Java more than Python. Java is the language I'm most proficient with. Okay, so I didn't know this syntax would work in Python. But also remember, this syntax will not work in Java. It doesn't work in Java. But here, hey, if you are only learning this one class, you are not going on to Java, remember, you can do this. And one thing is you can just always experiment. You never know what the language can do, right? So this is the same, obviously, these two. Okay, everybody, any questions? Okay, so that and look at this, right? It's using the traditional. I would call this the traditional syntax. Okay, this is different. this is different, a different syntax. It's using this to reference each element, not just the index. That's pretty new to me. Okay, good. Now let's look at the split. Okay, this is a sentence, and this is a string. Everybody, right? That's a string. And now we are splitting it. And once you split, remember it automatically uses the space as the separator, and it's split into a list. So you're assigning it to words. And when you print it out, this is what is in it, right? So here we can change. Okay, so now we are using this expression, okay? This will evaluate to the uppercase of each word, and we are assigning that new value to this location, to that element, to that variable. So we are changing each one to uppercase. Now, when you look at this, this is changing each one to uppercase, right? Okay. So let's do an example. I'm going to close this and just start a new one, because what is that? Oh, okay. Otherwise it's too much. So shell. Where is the new shell? Oh, I don't have the new shell, Python shell. Okay. So let's do this. We can say sentence equals to good morning always comes to mind when I say something, because it's the first day, it's the first thing, right? Good morning. Okay, good morning, everyone and the world. Okay, so that's that. And then I will do sent split. Tell me, does this change? I use sent. It's not, it's a word, so it doesn't look good, but just take it. Set dot split. What does this do, everybody? What does this do?
Would it
I-
split the comma or make?
It's split with a comma.
It splits with a space.
It splits with a space. What's the end result? That might be my more accurate question. What's the end result?
It will give a list.
Okay, now if I print sent, what will happen?
It will,
Why, Jordan? Why?
because you're not assigning it to sent.
Very, very good. That's very good. Okay, remember, this is an expression. And that's great. That's a great answer. Correct, 100%. Okay, so this is an expression, and this is giving you the value of that expression, right? But did it change sent? No, because you are not assigning it to it. I'm doing this just to re-emphasize the difference between a statement and an expression. Okay, this is an expression, and you are not, you do assignment. So now, okay, you changed it. Now it's a list. Okay, what did we want to do? Let's see. What did we want to do? Oh, we want to change it to upper, right? So we will do for word in sent. Can I do that? Okay, let's see. Word equals to word dot upper, right? Okay, let's see. No, it didn't, right? It didn't do it. So for this one, it doesn't work. For the integers, it did work. So we have to do this for word in range len sent in the range, and the range is the length of the sentence. Okay. And then we need to do sent. That is the index beginning from 0. And remember, word is the index here, right? Okay, upper. Okay, now let's see. So if you see, this is the inconsistency part of Python, I would say. Okay, the reason, I think I know the reason. The reason is strings are immutable. Maybe that's why. But at least it's a little bit inconsistent, because with integers, you can directly reference it and change it. With word, with strings, you cannot. But this is how, you know, if one way doesn't work, just use the other way, right? Okay, that's how you do that. And that is this example, right? Any questions, everybody? This is referencing the individual element. So this would be sent sub 0, sent sub 1, sent sub 2, sent sub 3. Oh, here we have one, right? We have another one. The comma. Oh, no. This is simply the separator. Okay, but another thing you need to remember is, remember it's separated by the space. So this comma belongs to this word. And that's why you see it here, right? The comma, you see it here together with the word, with each token, okay? So, and word is 0, and then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, etc. So this changes. This is the index. Any questions, everybody? No? Okay. We are almost done with this, everybody. Okay. List methods for inserting and removing. Let me see if I have any. I want you to, let's see, assume that the variable data, I want you to do an exercise before I continue. Assume that the variable data refers to the list. Write this is also from the book, by the way. Write the expression that perform the following task. Replace the value at position 0 in data with the value's negation. How about you do that, everybody? You can put it in the chat. Yeah, Joe put that there. Okay. I'm going to. Very good. So these are the two answers there, and that's correct. So this way, whatever the first element is, you multiply by -1. That makes it negative. And this is the same. It's just the shorthand assignment operator, right? So the logic is the same. That's how you do that. That's very good, everybody. Okay. So let's look at, for this one, we haven't learned that. So that's the one example. That's the one exercise we did, right? Let's go back. Let's learn some new things, everybody. Okay, so we finished this. We finished this, right? Now let's do, I'm thinking what other exercise I want to give you. Maybe let's do another exercise. How about this? Instead of going on. Let me think. Okay, let me think. Okay, get the input from the user and split it into a list. That's good. That's very good. And for each in range, len word word. Each is the index equals to, yes, that's correct. That's to string equals to, John, that's very good. Okay, you are doing some more complicated stuff there, right? Okay, John, that list for element in word. Explain that, Macrin. Explain the John statement.
Because the split converts the sentence into a list by
Uh-huh.
taking out the spaces. So I just put the spaces as to join the list. Yeah.
Okay, 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 very good. Let's look at the output. Okay, good morning, everybody. Very good. That's correct. Very good. Great work. That's very good work, Macrin. And thank you for sharing also. Thank you. Excellent. Anyone else?
Oh, sure.
Okay, Kyle, let's look at yours.
I didn't see in particular what we were doing, and specifically, but I do have the job done.
Okay.
As you can see, I started goofing off at the very end. It doesn't
Okay.
work, but I'm trying to figure that out. So,
Okay. Enter a string. Yes. Uh-huh.
I was trying to create some bit of code that wouldn't use split to function, but
Wouldn't use what? Split. Oh, okay. You're trying to do the thing without the splitting. Okay. Well, split might be the best, the easiest one. So alternative thing. So the first one would work, right? The neo text equals to that. The first for loop would work, right, Kyle?
yeah.
Yes. That's the simplest form, and that would work. This one, the add ing to everything. Okay. Yes, that's the simplest version, and it should work also. Thank you. That's good. And what is the second one? What are you trying to do in the second one? Alternative thing?
What I'm trying to do in the second one is I would scan from the very end of the string to the very start, and if it has any space in it, not double spaces, it would just put in ing, and the new text would be equal to everything before that, where you'd be inserting ing, and everything that has been already changed after it. So that's why inside of this right here, new text equals, you have text from 0 to the index plus ing plus the new text of index to the length of new text, because new text is essentially just text with added on numbers, and that's why I have to figure out the length of this and not length of text.
Okay. Or if it's just a space, you
no,
no
yeah, now I
matter
see
what
why
it
it's
is. Go ahead.
I see why it's being a little bit goofy. So it starts off at length of text -1, but whenever you add an ing, it's going to be moving back that index a bit. I forgot to add in 3 or 2 or something whenever I do actually perform this process.
Okay, very good, Kyle. Thank you for sharing. And the very first loop is the one that works, the simple version, and that works. Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. So I'm asking you to do this. Redo it. Add ing to the odd index word. Morning, everyone becomes morning, everyoneing. Okay.
I started from the first index and got the length of the statement and counted by 2 every other sentence, adding ing.
That's okay. That's very good. Let's look at it. Okay, until a statement. I hoping, I aiming, doing. That's the original word. This thing, exercise, thing, right, weighing. Yes, that's correct. Very good. Very, very good. Everybody, look at the how he did that. He used the for loop. Everybody remember you can step, right? So you start from the first one, you leave the 0th element out. So you start from the first one and go to the end and step by a 2. Yes. Okay. The step is 2. So go up every other one. That's very good. That's very good. Okay. Thank you, Jordan. Great work. Anyone else besides Kyle? Anyone else who wants to share? Anyone? I really like to give everybody a chance to, to show your work, even if it's not correct, 100% correct. It doesn't matter, right? As I said, 10 years from now, who would remember you showed something that's not correct? No one remembers that. Still no one? Still no? Are you sure no one wants to share? No one? Okay, then Kyle, let's look at yours.
Oh boy. So the crazy thing is that I realized that his code actually took up 4 lines instead of 5, like mine does to add on ing to the end of every word, which is a bit crazy. But mine is, actually, I suppose mine just doesn't like to put everything into a list. It's just keeping everything as a string. That's all. To do this, if I ever wanted to put ing to the end of words in thirds, all I could do is just switch this value, this variable, from a binary variable, I suppose, like false and true, to an integer. And at that point, I could just use modulus or something to figure out, okay, is it 2's place or 2's place? Is it number 1, number 2, or number 3? Yep. And
okay. Obviously, this is very much advanced, and we haven't learned the switch. We haven't learned this syntax in Python, so I don't think everybody understands this. But you can see, Kyle, did you have, what programming background did you have?